Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian, where government overreach gets clowned harder than your favorite tax funded program. I'm Jeff, and today we're diving into something a little bold and a little spicy. What would it actually take to implement minarchism in the United States? We're talking national reforms, state level revolutions, and local level innovations. It's like the liberty version of federalism with a flamethrower. The national level, the head of the serpent. Constitutional edits are straight up repeals. All right, let's start at the top, the federal government. If minarchism is the end goal, the first major step is gutting the Leviathan we call the U.S. Constitution. Yeah, I said it. Not burn it, but trim it. Think of it like taking a weed whacker to a jungle of bureaucratic nonsense. Minarchists want the federal government reduced to just police, courts, and military. That's it. So what's got to go? Departments like education, energy, HUD, and the IRS say bye-bye. Amendments like the 16th income tax. Repealed? You bet. Commerce Clause abuse? Rewritten, neutered, and put on a leash. Now, is this easy? Hell no, it's not easy. You need supermajorities in Congress and the states to ratify the changes, and probably a few national existential crises to wake people up. But hey, Rome wasn't decentralized in a day. State level laboratories of liberty, New Hampshire and Texas. Here's where things get spicy. States. You've heard the phrase laboratories of democracy. Well, minarchists are out here trying to cook up meth lab levels of freedom. Look at New Hampshire's Free State Project. Real people moving in, running for office, passing legislation to shrink government. It's not a utopia, but it's proof of concept. Then there's Texas, strong economy, strong independence streak, and a gun collection bigger than most countries' armies. Texas could be a testing ground for large scale minarchism if enough people gave up their cowboy statism. States can nullify federal overreach, cut taxes, and privatize services without waiting on DC. Just imagine no state income tax, school choice on steroids, and sheriffs who know the Constitution better than Congress does. Now let's talk local innovations, HOAs, tech, and private governance. Now let's zoom in even closer. Local governments. This is where minarchism can sneak in the back door while DC is arguing over pronouns and foreign wars. Now I want you to picture this. Instead of a city council, you have private neighborhood associations with binding contracts. Want clean parks and security? Pay a monthly fee. Don't pay? No service. That's simple. HOAs already operate like mini governments, but without taxes, elections, or bureaucrats. Add in tech, blockchain for contracts, apps for local arbitration, and suddenly you've got self-governed communities without a mayor in sight. In Chicago, that'd be phenomenal. No Brandon Johnson. And if you don't like your setup, move down the block. That's freedom of association, not central planning. Historical warnings. Government power creeps back in the most minute of ways. But hold up. Even if you pull all this off, minarchism can still fail. Why, you might ask? Because government has one superpower, mission creep. Let's look at history. The United States started with a minimalist constitution. Then came the Civil War, the New Deal, the Patriot Act, and suddenly the feds are regulating your toilet flushes. Every time there's a war, a crisis, or a pandemic, politicians grab power temporarily, and then they just conveniently forget to give it back. Like Palpatine in Star Wars Episode 2, I'm going to give this power back when the crisis abates. So the challenge isn't just shrinking government, it's keeping it small. That means ironclad limits in law, cultural values that reject dependency, constant public pushback against overreach. Because if you give the state an inch, it will nationalize the ruler factory. Now, let's put a bow on this. The final thoughts and what's next. So, yeah, implementing minarchism isn't about flipping one switch, it's a three-tier strategy. The first tier is cut the federal monster to its core. Let states go wild with freedom experiments. Build local systems where contracts beat mandates. But even then, you've got to keep your eyes sharp. Liberty is a garden, and the weeds of statism grow fast. Next episode, we'll dive into the economic side of this, how markets, not mandates, can handle education, healthcare, and security better than any bloated agency. If you like this breakdown, hit the subscribe button like you're repealing the 16th Amendment. This is Jeff, signing off. And remember, if your government has a department for everything, you probably have freedom for nothing. Thank you very much for watching. New videos drop every day. My podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio Podcast. Until next time, stay free, stay informed, and stay accountable.